Pepcid twice a day. See your dentist twice a year. Tonight, for the Community Center Building Fund at Woodland Hills, California, Lever Brothers Company presents the Pepcid Show, starring Bob Hope and his special guest, Fred Astaire. Thank you very much. How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? This is Bob broadcasting from Woodland Hills, California, where the deer and the real estate agents play hope. Telling all you gals to brush your teeth with Pepcid to preserve what's under your smeller, and at the stroke of midnight, you too can become a Cinderella and marry a Rockefeller. Wasn't that a beautiful wedding? Texaco's having it annulled, you know. Well, here I am back in California. Yes, sir, we did last week's show from Washington, D.C. and left just before the investigation. But I love to go to Washington, if only to be near my money. Not that I mind paying taxes if they just let me feel it a little longer. I was quite a curiosity in Washington, no subpoena and no hat in the ring. I fell as out of things as a campaign manager for Eisenhower. And you know, with this fuel shortage, it's really cold in some of the hotels back there. I looked in my closet one morning and my top coat was wearing my overcoat. I finally called the manager of the hotel and I said, "This is Bob Hope and my room is freezing." He said, "I know, we didn't want you to spoil." And the hotels are so modern, all the bellboys have the new look. They're wearing their palms 2 inches longer. But I just came back on the Super Chief, and they really give you good service. In fact, when I got too bumpy, they even gave me a softer mail sack. What a train trip. All night long, the wheels kept me awake singing Bromoseltzer, Bromoseltzer, Bromoseltzer. Finally gave me such a headache, I had to get up and take one. When I got off the train at Albuquerque to buy some Indian souvenirs, I didn't realize it was Valentine's Day. Anybody want to buy a heart-shaped blanket? It was quite a train ride. It was 2 o'clock in the morning when we crossed the state line into California, and I was very sleepy. The porter could hardly get me awake long enough for me to put on my dark glasses. And we had a walk. That's some joke, isn't it? It's the last joke I buy from Mary Livingston's mother. I want to tell you that. But we had to walk all the way in from Pasadena. The engineer didn't have any willpower, and Madman Munch talked him into selling the train. Must be a lot of used cars out here. But there's no place like Hollywood, not even Hollywood. But tonight, we're in Woodland Hills, California. This is Vera Vague's hometown. She's a gentleman farmer here, but so far she hasn't been able to grow any. All the movie stars have places in Woodland Hills. In fact, Trigger has a ranch here where he raises people. And Sinatra had a ranch, but met with misfortune. He stuck his finger in the ground to plant a seed, fell in, and hasn't been seen since. And Woodland Hills is located between the Orange Belt, the Grape Section, and the Apricot Zone. The Greyhound bus stops here for 5 minutes to wipe the fruit salad off the windshield. Thank you. And here's Miriam. Miriam and the boyfriend. Hello. Bob Hope speaking.
Mr. Hope, Washington, D.C. calling.
Washington? That must be Harry. Must have counted the towels. Put him on, operator.
One moment, Washington. Mr. Hope, he wants to reverse the charges.
Well, tell him to take it out of my income tax. Hello, Hope. Why, Professor Colonna. Colonna, why are you always calling me Collect?
Can't think of your real name.
No. Tell me, Hedgelip, what are you doing in Washington?
Nothing. I don't want to be conspicuous.
Well, Kelowna, get back here right away or you'll be conspicuous at the Unemployment Bureau.
I'll be back, Hope, just as soon as I straighten out Congress on taxation.
Kelowna, what do you know about income tax?
What do I know about income tax?
Yes.
Would you mind repeating the question?
Why?
I'm looking up the answer. Here we are. Income tax, a cleverly devised form of mental torture that could possibly lead to claustrophobia.
Claustrophobia, but that's the fear of narrow and closed places. How could income tax lead to that?
Try not paying yours next year.
All right, so you're working on an income tax bill. What kind is it?
Oh, it's very simple, Hope. I'm 48. No one pays any tax.
That's great, but how will the government make money?
Gin rummy.
Who kibitz, Molotov? Look, I want to tell you that you're goofy, Kelowna.
No, I'm Professor Kelowna. Goofy Kelowna's my brother. The one who sleeps with his head in a lion's mouth.
That's so silly. Why does he want to sleep with his head in a lion's mouth?
Prevents chapped lips.
Tell me, Broccoli Beak, is there a school for half-wits?
Of course there's a school for half-wits. You didn't know about it?
No.
We thought you were playing hooky.
Kelowna, where are you now?
Well, I'm here at the Bureau of Internal Revenue, Hope. I'm watching the 1947 income tax returns come in. The postman drops them down the chute. That was Howard Hughes' return. That was Bob Topping. That was Henry Kaiser's tax.
Kelowna, what happened?
That Jack Benny, he wouldn't let go.
Here comes Trudy Irwin. Les Brown and Love Is So Terrific.
Love is so terrific, such a funny feeling, makes you want to cuddle and cling. Makes you sentimental, makes you kind of gentle. Ouch, terrific thing. Love is so prolific, sends your head a-reeling, makes you want to giggle and sing. Makes you sigh and wonder, hits you just like thunder. Ouch, terrific thing. Life rearranges, suddenly changes, everything strange as it can be. Memory gets hazy, then you go crazy. Just look what it's done to me. Love is so terrific, such a easy feeling, makes you hear the wedding bells ring. Melts away your collar, makes you want to holler. Ouch, terrific thing. Life rearranges and suddenly changes, everything strange as it can be. Memory gets hazy, then you go crazy. Just look what it's done to me. Love is so terrific, such a easy feeling, makes you hear the wedding bells ring. Melts away your collar, makes you want to holler. Ouch! Love is a terrific thing.
Thank you, Trudy Irwin. That was Trudy Irwin singing Love Is So Terrific, accompanied by Les Brown, and if you can have them, I don't want them. They're too flat from the orchestra. And the same to you. And since I'm honorary mayor of Palm Springs, now that we're here in hot Woodland Hills, I guess I ought to pay my respects to the mayor. This must be the city hall right here. It's the only building in town. That must be the mayor over there now. Oh, I wasn't in yet, huh? I'm sorry. Well, this must be the mayor over there now. How do you do? Could you tell me if this is the Woodland Hills City Hall? I wondered why I got such a juicy handshake. Oh, here comes the man. Pardon me.
Yes?
Is this the Woodland Hills City Hall?
Yes, come in. Just don't stand there silhouetted in the doorway. You'll scare the tourists away.
Tourists, this town is so quiet they got a wooden Indian running the service station.
How can you talk like that? Didn't you see all the activity as you came through town?
You call that activity? Two gophers sitting on the sidewalk cleaning their fingernails?
Well, one thing you have to admit. We're neat. Who are you, anyway?
Well, I'm Bob Hope. Why do you look so startled?
You come right out with it, don't you?
Easy, kid. Don't try to earn your salary all in one line. Now, where's the mayor?
Later. Why don't you buy a ranch here and settle down? Woodland Hills is the garden spot of America.
Good, huh?
Good. Even the birds refuse to fly south.
Why, are they afraid of being attacked by Honest John's Air Force? Now, look, I told you I wanted to see the mayor, and I...
Well, as I live and hold my breath, Bob Hope.
It's very vague. That's it. Thank you, Clack. Miss May, don't tell me you're the mayor of Woodland Hills. I expected to see a man.
Well, I'm just as surprised as you are. I expected to see one, too.
Oh, now, wait a minute. Just a second.
After our trip, isn't it marvelous to be back in sunny California again, Mr. Hope?
Yeah, which way did it go? So you don't like the cold weather and snow, Miss May?
Well, certainly not. I kept telling you for a few dollars more we could have ridden inside the bus.
Well, remember, Miss Vague, $1's $1. At least it wasn't until a year ago. Anyway, you have to admit the East is very scenic now. Wasn't that a nice snowman standing out on the White House lawn?
That wasn't a snowman, Mr. Hope. That was Henry Wallace waiting to see Mr. Truman.
Yes, he wanted to put the balcony on the left wing. Well, look, I know just how you felt about that weather, Miss Vague. Were you getting tired of wearing those long fur-lined bloomers?
Yes, you can have them back now.
I didn't buy him that way. Somebody washed my sunsuit and fixed his shampoo. So, you're really the mayor of Woodland Hills, Miss Vague. Aren't you going to give me the keys to the city?
No.
Why not?
Can't find the city.
Well, I thought you looked worried.
Oh, nonsense. I feel wonderful tonight. I feel like a 2-year-old.
Careful, Miss Vague. You're asking for a saliva test.
Very funny. Tell me, is that really your nose, or have you been feeding radiator caps again?
Watch it, local.
This is amazing, though, Mr. Hope. I'm mayor of Woodland Hills, you're mayor of Palm Springs, and now Bing Crosby's just been made mayor of Elko, Nevada.
Yeah, and that ought to really be a sight. Elko being run by a moose. I don't know why Crosby goes up to that cow country anymore. Those ranches are so careless.
The ranches are careless?
Sure, already this year he's been shipped to Chicago 3 times by mistake.
Mr. Hope, I thought you'd love ranch life after staying at my place last night.
Well, it was wonderful, Miss Vague, but next time I stay overnight, do me a favor, will you?
What's that, Mr. Hope?
See that the hay has changed.
Didn't you sleep well?
No, Miss Vague, my roommate brayed all night. Lucky thing he didn't kick in his sleep.
That's funny.
What's funny?
He complained about you, too.
That's nothing. Even the cow got mad at me when I tried to milk her this morning.
Well, no wonder. Milking a cow is a slow, gentle process. Squirt, squirt, squirt.
Squirt, squirt, squirt?
If you don't throw your arms around the whole cow and try to squeeze it out all at once.
Oh, well, why doesn't somebody tell me? Thank you, Miss Vague.
Pepcid won by 3-1. Yes, in a recent survey, families from coast to coast, thousands of people, compared new Pepcid toothpaste with brands they'd been using at home. By an overwhelming average of 3-1, They preferred new Pepcid toothpaste with Irium over any other brand they tried. The Kenneth Annister family of Queens Village, New York, preferred new Pepsodent on every single count. Mrs. Annister says,
My children, Jack and Nancy, think Pepsodent is the grandest toothpaste they ever tried, simply because it tastes so good. And my husband and I are convinced that Pepsodent cleans breath better, makes teeth brighter than any toothpaste we have ever used.
and family after family agree with the Annisters. Yes, with families who made comparison tests. Pepsodent won by 3-1. Get it without delay.
Tonight, as our special guest, we have one of the outstanding dancers of our time. He's a star of stage and screen and has been a popular favorite ever since his magic feet made history in Broadway. Ladies and gentlemen, the great guy and a wonderful performer, the suave and debonair Fred Astaire.
Thanks, Bob, for the swell introduction, but I still insist on money.
What do you want money for? After all, you can't take it with you.
I know, but it comes in so handy planning the trip.
This show may decide which way you go. Fred, you've been hoofing a long time, haven't you?
All my life, Bob. The day I was born, I danced.
Yes, and I've been a comedian all my life. The day I was born, people laughed. The last time I buy jokes from my family doctor. Tell me, Fred, what are you doing these days, cinematically speaking?
Oh, I'm making a musical at MGM, Easter Parade.
That's the most important part. MGM, oh boy. I got that's the man with a cabbage. Let's keep it in mind. Easter Parade. Oh, of course, if you got it, you can say Paramount if you have the money.
Oh.
Easter Parade. That's great. I'd like to work in a musical. Can you get me a part in it?
It's too late, Bob. Judy Garland's the girl in the picture.
I'll have to stop getting my suits made by Adrian. You know, Fred, Judy Garland used to be on my program. I wonder if she ever thinks of me anymore.
I doubt it, Bob. She's grown up now.
If any of you want to learn to dance, go to Arthur Murray. Yeah.
I'm having a lot of fun making this picture, Bob. You know, I came out of retirement for it.
Yeah, I know. You've retired more times than Jolson has come back. What made you decide to retire, anyway?
Oh, I had to, Bob. The creaking of my joints was getting louder than my tap.
Well, Fred, it's nice to have you back in the cinema.
Oh, thanks, Bob. I just had to come back. Pictures have been good to me. Pictures have saved me. It was up to me to save the pictures.
Wait a minute. It was up to you to save pictures? What makes you say that?
I saw you dancing in Road to Rio.
Wait a minute. Fred, I danced the samba pretty well in the Road to Rio.
Was that dancing? I thought someone tied your shoelaces together and gave you a push.
Well, I had to take it easy. Crosby was my partner. I didn't want to burn out the bearings on his wheelchair.
So, don't kid me, Bob. I saw the Road to Rio, and Crosby seemed to be holding his end up pretty well.
Yeah. Well, you don't know very much about trick photography. How are things, Fred? I understand you've opened a chain of dance studios across the country.
That's right, Bob. The Fred Astaire Dance Studios teach every type of dancing. We can even help you, Bob.
Really?
Yes. Your technique with the bubble is very bad.
Are you kidding? That's the only way I can get home from Santa Anita.
I just run home in my shorts and they think I'm training for the Olympics.
You know, Fred, I bet on your horse Triplicate Saturday, and you could tell he belonged to a dancer.
Why? What happened?
Every time another horse went by, he tapped the jockey and asked, "May I cut in?"
How'd he finish, though?
Not bad. The walking man only beat him by 3 lengths.
Oh.
In my vaudeville days, we used to eat horses like that.
It was tough in vaudeville, Bob, wasn't it?
Tough. I worked with a partner. We were so hungry, if anyone threw a tomato at us, we thanked him. Say, but then things got really bad. My partner and I were sitting in our hotel room one day. We'd retired from show business, but it hadn't dawned on us yet. Gee, I'm hungry. We haven't had a meal in days. I'm ready to eat anything.
Bob, why are you looking at my chair like that?
I was just wondering what a naughty pine burger would taste like.
I'll take mine well done.
Gee, I'm starving, Fred. I can't understand why we can't get a job.
Maybe you shouldn't have taken that bite out of our agent.
That's what he gets for walking in at lunchtime. And this crummy hotel is getting on my nerves. What a broken-down joint this is. Even the mice eat out.
Well, at least it's cheap rent.
Especially if you don't pay it.
I know you boys are in there. I want my rent.
The landlady.
How'd you guess?
Come in.
Listen, you deadbeats. If you two don't pay the rent right now, I'm going to keep your trunks for security.
That's okay with us. It's too cold to go swimming anyway.
You'll pay the rent all right, and I'm taking your 2 suitcases till you do.
Lady, give me back my shoes. Have a heart. Thought you'd never arrive. Have a heart, Mom. Things have been tough.
Yes?
See, sometimes we've even thought of locking the doors and just turning on the gas.
Turning on the gas?
Yes, Mom.
Well, just remember there's a $3 extra charge for cooking in the room.
She could rent her heart out for a deep freeze locker. Hey, that must be our agent. Here, help me lift the receiver. Hello, Sam. What? You're booked at some Grauman's Chinese? Oh, that's great. You hear that, Fred? We're booked in the Grauman's Chinese. Uh-huh. Wait a minute. Sam. No, nothing doing.
What's wrong? What's the matter with Grauman's Chinese?
It's the Chungking branch.
Here, let me talk to him. Now, look, Sam, we're looking for a spot. We happen to have an opening between dates. Have you anything for us to fill in? Of course, till we get word from Ziegfeld. No, Sam, I haven't been drinking Radiator Flush. We want work.
Oh, give me that phone again. Sam, this is Hope. Hope. Now, you caught our act. Well, what did you... Sam, this may be a party line, Sam. Steady. Sure we need work. What's that? You want something with a little more class, a little more formal? Hold the phone. I'll ask him. Say, Fred, have you got your tails?
Certainly, Bob.
Okay, Sam, if Trigger doesn't make the job, we will. All right, Sam, we'll take it. We'll leave today. Goodbye.
Where are we going, Bob?
Where are we going?
We're on our way to Apalachicola FL. Magnolia trees and blossom and those pretty southern gals.
Are the girls pretty there, Bob? Pretty. They all look like Lana Turners.
That's great.
No, it isn't. All the men look like Bob Topping.
Better than the orange groves in Cucamonga cow. If that's the Chamber of Commerce, Bob, tell them we're only kidding.
Say, you used to work in an orange grove, didn't you, Fred?
Yeah, I was the chief naval officer. Naval. Get it?
Don't stand there. Get behind the net.
We're gonna stay along the Apalachicola Bay.
Say, how do you sleep along a bay?
Just nestle in the sand and pull up the clamshell.
Really? Do you sleep with your arms over or under the tide? we may stop at Oakland only for some hominy grits.
Say, by the way, what are hominy grits?
Wheaties with a southern drawl. Yes, sir, Fred, we'll be able to get a meal at last. I'll order steak.
I'll order French fries.
I'll order lots of coffee.
And when the check comes,
we'll eat that, too.
And pass through Tallahassee if the weather permits. If the weather permits, does it get cold in Tallahassee, Bob?
Does it get cold? It was so cold the last time I was there, the pigeons froze to the statues.
Oh, we're on our way to Apalachicola, FLA.
Don't try to spell it.
To Apalachicola, FLA.
I'll take my sun lamp
to Apalachicola, FLA.
Next door to AVAC.
To Apalachicola, FLA.
My hot rod's ready
for Apalachicola, FLA.
We're friends of Kilroy.
To Apalachicola, FLA.
For the memory of the annual Red Cross drive and the goal for which they strive. This cause is great, so let's donate and keep goodwill alive. And we thank you so much. Want to thank Fred Astaire for helping us out tonight. Also, Trudy Irwin for some fine lark work. And next week, ladies and gentlemen, Clifton Webb, that fine actor from 20th, visits us down in Banning. And now, ladies and gentlemen, a last-minute surprise. Here's one of radio's best comedians and one of our best friends. The gal you know as Madcap Verveeg, and the gal we know as the charming, gracious, warm-hearted mayor of Woodland Hills, Barbara Jo Allen.
I'm sure you know how much I appreciate this. And I'd like to add how sincerely we folks in Woodland Hills appreciate your helping us raise money to build a community center for the youngsters.
Skip it, honey. After all, I have a selfish interest in youngsters. I have 4 of my own, you know.
And 4 very lucky children, if you want my opinion.
Yeah. Well, they're like all other kids in America, BJ, a lot luckier than those millions of little low-calorie kids throughout the United Nations.
And, Bob, there's a wonderful opportunity for us to help those youngsters. I mean the United Nations Crusade for Children.
What's the best way to pitch in, BJ?
By writing to the United Nations Crusade for Children, Hollywood 28, California, and saying, I want to serve on my local Crusade for Children committee.
In that case, folks, let's grab our fountain pens right now and write Crusade for Children, Hollywood 28, California.
Remember, ladies and gentlemen, 200 million children in this world tonight are hungry for a square meal. Let's you and I help set the table.
Fine, BJ. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Next week, Legal Brothers Company, makers of Pepcid, will bring you the Bob Hope Show, broadcasting from Banning, California, with Bob's special guest, Clifton Webb. Fred Astaire appears tonight by arrangement with Metro Goldwyn Mayer. Producers of The High Wall, starring Robert Taylor, Audrey Potter, and Herbert Marshall.
This is Libby Collins, your Hollywood reporter, with big news about Lux. Hollywood studios are enthusiastic about the new Lux. New tiny diamonds of Lux. So shimmering white, so sheer, so tiny. They look different from any other soap. They act different. They are different. They're so much faster. The little diamonds burst into suds at the touch of water. Make thick, abundant suds that last and last. They're richer. These new diamonds of Lux make stockings last twice as long. Hundreds of tests prove it.
This is Wendell Niles reminding you to try new Pepcid toothpaste with Arium.
3-to-1 favorite with families all over America.
Thank you.
This is NBC, the national broadcasting company.